Hi everyone, and welcome to new album review. When I started listening to metal 1.5 decades ago, Satyricon appeared on my radar pretty fast, and they stayed there. Yet I did not start with their classic black metal records. Nemesis Divina, for example, entered my metal world years after I started with Volcano and Rebella Extravaganza. So it's just fair to say that I grew up musically with a black metal rock fusion, and it moved along my path since then. Therefore, I think it's understandable that I really looked forward to the 9th full-length album, Deep, Calleth upon Deep, especially with their previous self-titled release in mind. Even 4 years after its release, I still have mixed feelings when it comes to this record. There is this great song, Phoenix, which is kinda fresh approach. However, a great song could not cover the main issue, its uniformity. The album basically consists of 2 parts. These parts differ significantly, but within them there were no huge differences. To be a bit exaggerating, 1 record, 2 songs. But at least both were good. Now, after talking about the previous record, the elephant in the room is obvious and glaring. Is the new record interesting again? The Too Long Don't Wanna Listen version is? Yes, it is. Actually, the very first song, Midnight Serpent, gets everything in line what I like about Satyricon's music. It starts off pretty aggressive, which creates an immediate connection to their earlier records. This blast beat driven aggressiveness disappears eventually while the song advances, and it is replaced by groove and also some slow atmospheric parts. These ingredients are really well mixed, and in the end they form a tasty piece of music. Fortunately, they managed to continue this positive first impression with the next song, Blood Cracks Open the Ground. A very groovy song where the title makes up for a quite nice interlude/refrain kind of thing. What they carried over from the previous release in particular is a focus on melodies, which can be pretty dominant from time to time. A good example is The Ghost of Rome. Almost the entire song is dominated by a solo guitar on top of the rhythm guitars and drums, which feels a bit too much here and there. Fortunately, this is not a big issue because the main attention is partially drawn away from the guitars towards an almost imploring background singing. This opens up a certain depth in the song and is a really good example how elements that appear simple on the first glance can make a huge difference. This singing is not the only experimental aspect they have on this album. Take, for example, the song Dissonant, with its returning saxophone fused into it in a way that it almost feels as if this instrument just belongs here. For me, this is a little surprise, as I mostly connect the combination of saxophone and electric guitar-driven music with cheesy 80s pop rock, but cheesiness can fortunately not be found here. Groove and melody dominates instead. The best songs, however, are To Your Brethren in the Dark and the title track, Deep, Calleth Upon Deep. Both contain elements that are found in typical metal hit songs. They have memorable melodies, damn catchy refrains, and they manage to stick out. To Your Brethren in the Dark is more on the slow to mid-tempo side, whereas Deep, Calleth Upon Deep tends to peak into a bit more up-tempo every now and then. Especially the latter has the best refrain on the whole fucking album. Satyr's singing is back with a clear male voice, which is like the chocolate on top of a cream cake. Makes it even better. On To Your Brethren in the Dark, you can find some catchy details too. From time to time, some classical instruments sneak into the sound while staying in the background, and also the bass line leaves the low registers and journeys up into the high ones, which leads to a nice diversity within this song. So, is it a good album? As I said before, it is. Each song is interesting and stands for itself, while all together form a homogeneous piece of art. The production is, as usual for this band, top without being over the top. Actually, this has to be appreciated, as overproduction seems to be very seductive today, kind of lo-fi to super hi-fi. But where is light, there are shadows, and even if this is a good, great album, for me it's not the best they released. It may be because I connect albums like Rebel Extravaganza or Volcano with some good old days, but for me they are Satyricon's climax, and this record does not reach them. Sometimes I am reminded of these times. Black Wings and The Withering Gloom is an example. But this shadow still remains, even if it is a high-level complaint here. Nonetheless, it is a record I recommend listening to, not just once, but 5, 6, or even 10 times. I'm sure you will find new details every time. 8.5 out of 10. Thank you for your time, and rock on.